Hello there, dear travelers. It is I, Alter the Lyra, the star inhabiting the abandoned space station, and, so, for anyone that doesn't know, this is actually the second time that we are going to be playing this part of the game, because we did play this part before, and then, I finished the stream, like 2 hours later, and I go back, like a couple days later, I'm like, oh, let me go back because I want to check something. Well, more like I was checking something on YouTube Studio. And I checked and I see, why does that say 1 hour? I streamed for 2 hours. I know I streamed for 2 hours at the very least. And I click on the video, I click on the VOD, and the audio is completely messed up. So not only did I lose half of the fucking video, which by the way I can't even re-upload because the recording also died in that half point, the audio messed up. Like utterly, like it is unsalvageable. It's unsalvageable. Luckily, I did make a save from where we left off in the previous stream, the like one that actually worked, the first one. So it's not a big issue, and this does give me an excuse to choose Emmett's route. So how bad, how sad I have to choose Emmett's route now instead of Florian, whatever his name is. I keep forgetting his name. I do want to romance him as well, but I like Emmett. Emmett's funny. I like Emmett. But yeah, so if you see me not reacting to some parts and stuff like that, it is because I've played it. I have played the part already. Like, we're gonna see if I can do pretty much the entire demo today, but I believe we have like 4 hours still of demo left. And I don't know if my voice is gonna last that long. We're gonna try to at least do the 2 hours to make up for the lost time, and hopefully stream doesn't shit itself today. I did mess around with settings and it is looking a bit more stable today, so hopefully it doesn't give me the same issue. My internet has also been a lot more stable these days, so we're gonna hope everything is fine and nothing is broken. My theory why my internet was broken is because my upstairs neighbor was doing remodeling or something, and they always like to touch the fucking internet cables of the building. So, you know. Anyways, we can start now. Yeah. I at least was like, oh, let me make a quick save here. But yeah, there's gonna be a couple of things that I'm gonna probably do different now that I understand the mechanics better. But yeah, okay. Okay, let's begin. You awoke to a commotion from downstairs that was slowly becoming commonplace around here. Rising out of bed, you dressed, grabbing an apple on the way down for breakfast. Florian? Oh, I didn't mean to wake you up. You found Florian mopping the floors again, and a toppled-over suit of armor that had previously been leaning against the back wall sprawled out on the ground. Sir Florian, you ought to take heed. Though I admire your dedication to arriving earlier in the day, it is no use if you cannot perform your duties correctly. He didn't arrive earlier, he just didn't fucking leave. It was an accident, okay? A little vampire boy. What are you doing here so early? Wait, you did go home last night, didn't you? Florian. I was busy, alright? You can get off my back about it. There's really nothing to keep you that busy here. I would never expect or want you to do that. I haven't been able to sleep anyway. Might as well be doing something useful. Even if you can't sleep, you should be resting. The key to a steadfast body and mind, Sir Florian, is rest. Even the finest knight cannot protect their charge if they are worn down by exhaustion. Lucille stepped forward, then stood up the fallen suit of armor. A lack of sleep dulls the senses, clouds judgment, and weakens resolve. Trust me, I have seen even the strongest falter when they neglect the rest. Yeah, well, good for you, knights. Maybe you guys don't have insomnia. Sleepless nights are not foreign to me, but to push yourself without reprieve only invites disaster. She's right, it's not even about the sleep so much, it's about giving yourself a break you need. You need it. You deserve it, after a long day's work especially. I don't want a break, I want to keep busy. I can see that. Florian's hand tightened around the mop handle. I'm so much pain and I'm so sleepy as well. We're doing great today. We're doing so well. You cannot pour from an empty vessel, Sir Florian. You two are way too nosy. I mean, isn't it kind of my job to be nosy? Just get some rest, don't worry about work today. Fine, it's like, if it gets you off my back, no promises I'll even be able to sleep though. We do not ask for perfection, only effort. Finally, he leaned the mop against the wall, then ran a hand through his mop of hair. You couldn't help but notice the slightly more defined eye bags under his eyes. He then started on his way upstairs. We're doing Emmett. Maybe that's why Elvia started shitting itself, because I chose Florian and it was like, and everyone's like, no, I want to see Emmett. I don't want to see Florian's through it. I want to see Emmett. I'm gonna mess everything up. Florian, door is that way. No more working. I'll show you the attic before I go. Can't it wait? It's not that important. I said I'd do it, so I'll do it. It'll only take 5 minutes. Fine, but after this, go home. Yeah, whatever. Dust motes danced through the beams of light that filtered in through the stained glass window at the back of the room. Left a splash of colorful patterns across the jumbled, mismatched antiques that filled the attic, old trunks, boxes overflowing with trinkets, well-loved books. Ta-da! The attic. Like I said, Sylvie's been meaning to clean this crap up to sell anyway, and by crap I mean there's a lot of rubbish here. You might find nothing worth selling, I don't know. There certainly is a lot of stuff. You can say crap. Oh, it's not crap. Also, I'm gonna try, unless it's like Florian's romance options, I'm gonna do the same choices I did last time. Not crap, just an assortment of items, some more worthwhile than others. Sounds like a roundabout way of saying some of it is crap. As you moved through the room, your eyes caught something odd, a flash of movement near the shelves. You turned only to find something or someone hanging upside down from the edge of a high shelf, her bright smile and sparkling eyes pointed directly at you. Ta-da! Ah! Hi, Winnie. You stumbled backwards, barely catching yourself before you tripped over your aunt's collection of used phone books. Before you could even process what was happening, the figure slipped, letting out a startled yelp as she tumbled to the floor in a heap. You winced, waiting for the sound of impact, but nothing came. Ow, 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 ow. Wait, that didn't hurt. That didn't even hurt. Why am I saying ow? Are you okay? The figure popped up immediately, brushing herself off with a sheepish grin. Never better. I see the encoding overload message pop up and I just immediately just like, Never better. Another flawless landing by yours truly. You fell. Thank you, thank you. I know my graceful performance was one you'll remember forever. Please hold the applause. Sorry, there's something in my douche. Blech. Blech. Then you noticed that she was ever so slightly transparent. She struck a dramatic pose, her hands forming a heart over her chest as she flashed you a dazzling grin. Hello, hello, Altair. It's so exciting to finally meet you. You're in the presence of future international superstar and idol Winnie. What's my sparkly? There you go. She twirled in place, but her motion ended with a slight wobble, making you instinctively reach out as though to catch her, but your hands passed right through her. Winnie? Wait a second, you're the girl who was in my room the other night. You're a beautiful woman with adoring fans all over the world? The only fan you have is that one. Florian pointed to an old, dusty electric fan that sat in the corner of the room. Boo, you suck. I have loads of fans. Where are they then? Here and there. You wouldn't know them, since all you do is sit around the store every day. That's funny, coming from you. Overwhelmed, you sat down on the wooden floor, staring towards this insane display. Anyway, you can just go away if you're gonna be such a spoilsport. I want to talk to Altair. Shoo, Stinky. I'm not stinky. Hi, hey. Why are you sitting on the ground? You're gonna get all dusty. She rushed over, then squatted down beside you. I think the dust is the least of my worries right now. Florian, am I going crazy or something? Maybe, but that has nothing to do with her. So she's real? Unfortunately. Hey, I'm right here, you know. Why didn't you tell me? Look, I figured you'd find out eventually. She's hard to miss. I'm the only one keeping things lively around here. If it were up to Florian, the whole place would be a ghost town. I mean... No pun intended. A ghost in the store. Sure, why not? We've got a knight. Why not a ghost too? We also have a vampire. And whatever the fuck Emmett is, I think Emmett's a fae. You'll understand why when we get to it. Aw, your thinking fish is so cute. Maybe you should be the super famous internet idol? Just be a VTuber, girl. That would make one of you. Anyway. Bro, I'm so tired. I'm really sorry for scaring you. No, you're not. I'm really sorry that scaring you made you get hurt. I really didn't mean for that to happen. My throat hurts. Oh my god. I am not doing well. We just started. I am not doing well. I think someone in this game put a curse on me. I just maybe kind of had a bet with Florian over whether or not I could spook you. Now Florian owes me $5. Hey, hey. I'm going home. Good luck dealing with that one. That one? I have a name. Hold on, I need to cough. Okay. Not better. Hopefully this is not a sign of me getting sick tomorrow. Oh my god, not encoding overloading again, bro. With that, Florian left, heading back downstairs and out of the store. So anyways, now that he's gone, I have something I want you to help me with. You do? Is it like dealing with something you left behind before you... I want to become the most famous internet idol ever. Of course. I should have guessed. And if you help me with it, I'll promote the store. It's a win-win for both of us, don't you think? I get all the adoring fans, you get lots of people visiting your store. Come on, what do you say? Pretty please? Pretty please? It'll be loads of fun, I promise. I can try. I don't know much about idols or becoming famous, though. Scratch that, I know nothing about idols or becoming famous. Yeah, you're the best ever. You're pretty much my manager now. Whoa, I don't know about that, but I can try to help you at the very least. Right now? How about later tonight? I'm about to open up the store, but once it closes, I'm free. Yes! Oh, this is going to be amazing. We'll have to pick outfits, make videos, maybe even do live streams. Oh, would you do my hair too? Ooh, I have so many ideas already. Slow down. Let's just take it slow and see how we go, alright? Slow. Right, I'm great at slow. Which name do you think is better? Winnie the super amazing super cool idol? Or show-stopping Winnie? Maybe we'll workshop the name a little. By the way, Winnie, why didn't you introduce yourself sooner? I don't buy it well, not unless you ask nicely anyway. Oh, Florian told me I shouldn't talk to you. Huh? Does he really hate me that much? No, Florian doesn't hate anyone. He's a big softie under all of that emo-ish blandness. He said you were from out of town and you might not be into the whole, you know, ghost thing. He thought it might be a better idea to wait a little and see what you thought of the town first. And we waited 4 days for that. What, is the whole town hiding a bunch of ghosts I don't know about? No, just supernatural creatures. And like one normal guy that lives down the street. Not Emmett though. Maybe? I've never met another ghost. Even thinking about meeting a ghost gives me the shivers. You're afraid of ghosts? Well, yeah, who wouldn't be? And that doesn't seem at all funny to you? What do you mean? Don't worry about it. You stood up from the ground and dusted off your clothes. It really was dusty down here. I better get to work, so or do you just hang around in here? I go wherever the fun is. That'll be all over the place now that we know each other. Yippee! That sounds dangerous. Okay. I'll let you get to work for now, but tonight you're all mine, okay? Don't forget, we're gonna make magic happen. Got it, tonight, magic. Sure, I'm all yours. I'll call me Altair the Wizard with all the magic I'm about to make happen. Yeah, we will be performing some magic. That is certainly true. Later, that is. Now I have to be Altair the Shopkeeper. I also have to be Altair with my fucking throat dying. Lady Winona, it's good to see you fine and well. See! Winnie charged forward, then jumped as if to hug Lucille. I went straight through her. Aw, one day it'll work. Why are you encoding Overload? The ping is fine! This thing is just shooting itself for no reason at this point. It just hates me. It is the thought that counts. I will prepare my stance for the day it does. That's the spirit. Was that pun intended? That's my secret, heh. I am pleased to see you have become acquainted with each other. The store was far too quiet without Lady Winona around. Aw, you're making me blush. I'm only speaking the truth. Well, I think you're trying to make me turn red. You're so charming, Lucy. Can we have an option to get these two together in the full game? Can we make that happen, actually? Hello, 2.5 Studios. Can you please hear me out? Can we please have a route where we're a matchmaker and we make Yuri happen? That'd be really cool. I think it would be really cool. Leave a like and subscribe if you agree with the Yuri route. Honesty is not charm, Lily Winona. It is simply the Also leave a like and subscribe if you want me to somehow get better at reading in English. Lady Winona, it is simply the way of a knight. Well, I think you're charming and noble and strong, Anne. Are you trying to make Lucille join your idol group or something? I've never heard so many compliments in one breath. Because they need to get together. Maybe. Just imagining a night idol. Have you ever heard of something so cute? I fear my talents do not extend to performance arts, and cute, I am not. Ooh. I think you're plenty cute. Don't you think so, Altair? You're both cute. Honestly, we might end up with a queue of people outside today just to see the two of you. A whole line of adoring fans! Yay! Lucille nodded seriously. If that is the case, then I shall remain on high alert. Lucille? With increased popularity comes increased risk. Should a crowd gather at our doors, I will ensure no trouble befalls you or Lady Winona. That's appreciated, but I'm sure not necessary. Oh, Lucille, you should totally be my bodyguard when I go viral. Every idol needs a super cool knight watching their back. If it's a matter of security, I will, of course, fulfill my duty. Do you mean an actual bodyguard or a part of your act? Nah. Well, picture it, the amazing idol Winnie and her gallant guardian, the unspeakable Dame Lucille del Rosario of the Order of the Crown. That title keeps getting longer and longer. Good branding is key, don't you think? If my presence lends credibility to your efforts, I shall assist in what way I can. However, should any real danger arise, I will take my duty most seriously. I would not let harm befall either of you. You smiled, shaking your head as Winnie practically sparkled with joy. Alright, let's focus on opening the store first. If a horde of admirers shows up, I trust Lucille to keep us all safe. You have my word. Oh, I'll handle it, fans. This is so going to be our big break. I'm not sure ghost idols to be come with fans, but that's alright. Time to get to it. Oh, that's how much money we need. 120. Okay. We're gonna search through storage. And then we're gonna man the counter. And today is cloudy. You begin searching through your aunt's collection. Oh! That one's new actually. I didn't get that one when I played it during the OBS is going to fucking die on me stream. A little ceramic axolotls figure. We're gonna make it, it's normal quality, it's common. Let's make it like... Let's make it like 35. Or more like 40, I think. Get seated behind the counter, ready for today's customers. The bells chime and a customer comes inside. Hi, Vivi. Welcome. Oh, you're gonna start to buy it? That's great, actually. Awesome. Now we just need one more sale and we're done. Bye, Vivi. Aw, man. You stretch, hearing a pop from a joint somewhere you didn't want to think about too much as someone entered through the front door. What are you doing here? Don't tell me I have to put you in timeout. Timeout? How old do you think I am? I left something here this morning. I was just coming to pick it up. Hmm. What do you mean, It's not like I came back because I missed you or anything. I'm sorry, Florian. I cannot. We said Emmett's route. We will do Emmett's route, but I will be doing your route on the outer stream. Hmm. Fine. I guess that's a sufficient reason for you to be back. But you better go home straight away. Oh, you're worse than my mother. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Also, sorry if y'all see me just like randomly pause and like stare at the corner. It's because I'm just watching OBS like say that I'm just watching OBS say that there's an encoding error. So I'm just like pausing until it no longer says encoding error. Oh my god, encoding error. Just so that we don't have anything similar to what happened last time happen again. Because I'm paranoid now. I'm really paranoid right now. Actually, do you live far away? Why? I was just wondering. Not really, 10 minutes or so from here. We checked back and forth and couldn't see Winnie anywhere in the room. Can we talk? I thought you wanted me to leave. Just for a minute. Guess it's inevitable, sure. What is it? There's a real life ghost living in the store, and Lucille claims to be a time traveler, and I believe her for some reason, and you're a vampire. Yep. Yes, yep. I don't know what you want me to say. Yes, Winnie's a ghost, and yes, Lucille is a knight. How? Why? What's going on here? Did my aunt know? Of course she did. She knows everything that goes in this town. That's just the kind of woman she is. Really, this whole antique store rubbish is mostly a front. A front for what? You're not going to tell me this is something illegal, are you? I really don't want to go to prison if this is a setup. What? No. Willowmist is full of people who don't fit in. People who are running away from something or don't blend into a normal society. Yeah, like you, little vampire boy. I'm doing this for Emmett, who will look at me with the big eyes. Sylvie helps them. The town depends on her. She's a problem solver, I guess. She's the one that makes this town a place where people can exist without having to explain themselves. So the people in town, they're all like Winnie and Lucille? Not all of them, but a lot, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna bring up what I said last time because I thought I was fucking funny as hell for it. Anyways, everyone here is some kind of supernatural creature, except this one granny who's just like, oh yes, I know what's going on in this town. Everyone here is queer. I am so proud of all of them. Yes, yes. I know that all of them are gay. And some of them are also trans. And I am very proud of them. That is why they are here. Why is it encoding overloading again? Stop! But everyone knows? I guess some of them do, some of them don't, some of them don't want to know. Not everyone in Willowmist is like that, but they get it in their own way. Yeah, in their own way, like Granny who thinks everyone's gay. I don't know, it's more like people just don't ask. And you're just okay with that? Why wouldn't I be? It's a lot to take in. You get used to it. You sighed, running a hand through your hair. Or don't, just let things happen. You're here for what, 3 months? You'll be fine. You exhaled deeply before leveling a look at Florian. Okay, so what about you, vampire? What about me? He says, showing his fangs. You said all the people here don't fit in. What's your deal then? A beat of silence. Florian's expressions didn't change, but there was something just a little too measured about it now. I just work here. You just work here? Yep. A tragic backstory, no running from the past, no big secret. Nope. Florian. Altair. Fine. Be mysterious, but I'm on to you. There's nothing to be mysterious about. I just happened to be born here. Anyways, you told me to leave, so I'm leaving. Wait. I meant to do what she does? How would I know? Sylvie doesn't tell me shit. I can hardly help myself, let alone an entire town of people. You don't need to help everyone. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to help yourself. And that's enough. That's kind of the whole point though, isn't it? My aunt did. Florian sighed, shifting his weight slightly as he rubbed the back of his neck. Yeah, well, you're not her. Wow, thanks. That's not what I meant. For a second he hesitated, his fingers tightening slightly against his sleeve. Then, in a quieter voice, he spoke again. Look, even if you only help one person, it's worth it. His tone wasn't characteristically earnest, no sarcasm, no sign of frustration, just something quiet and certain. I need to romance him so bad. I need to romance this man so bad. He blinked at him, momentarily taken back. That's surprisingly optimistic coming from you. He dropped his hands into his pockets, glancing away as if embarrassed by his own sincerity. Not everything has to be a grand gesture. Not everything has to fix something. Sometimes just being there, just doing one good thing is enough. Sounds like something my aunt would say. Maybe it was. Did you believe her? Maybe. You smiled, exhaling softly before shaking your head. You're a weird guy, Florian. Yeah, well, you work here now, so you're one of us. No, I'm really going. Night. Night, Florian. Let me walk you out. The two of you found your way downstairs, wood groaning beneath your feet. Ooh, coming out of your room together at night? How scandalous. Shut up, I'm leaving. Have a night. Have a nice night, Flo. Not my name. Door shut soundlessly behind him as he left. He's such a spoil sport. Well, whatever. We've got the whole place to yourself now. Should we throw a party or something? A party in an antique store does sound really pretty cool. I'll put you in charge of planning that, eh? Do you think we can get a disco ball in here? Hell, my aunt probably has one stashed away somewhere, knowing her. Disco balls and parties can come later, though. Didn't you want my help with something? Oh! Right! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Come on. She went to grab you by the hand, but her fingers went straight through yours. They leave you with a cold, numb feeling in your hand, though, which you found pretty cool. Let's go! You charged upstairs and you trailed behind, ready for a troublesome night ahead of you. Oh, sorry, I cannot stop fucking yawning. Your place is so cool. Sylvia didn't like me coming up here, you know? This is my first chance to a proper look around. Why not? What did you do? What? Who said I did anything? Well, did you? I think it's because I'd stand at the end of her bed in the middle of the night. Kinda spooked her a little. Okay. I can see why she wouldn't like that. I was just messing around. I won't do that to you, though, I promise. I'd pinky promise, but, you know. She wiggled her semi-translucent pinky finger in front of your face. Anyways, do you have a computer? I do. I brought my laptop here with me, luckily. I don't know what I'd do without it. Yes, finally! You sat down at your desk, swinging around in the chair to log in. What's step 1 of becoming an idol, then? Getting famous, I guess? Selling out a giant arena for my concert? Okay, I don't know much about idols, but I think there's some steps before that. Did you decide on a name, at least? You had a few ideas earlier, but... Well, I have been thinking about it. And I get increasingly sleepier the longer it goes on, but I know the moment I stop playing, my energy is just gonna go whoop. We need a super cool idol? Denied. Well, I thought that was a good one. How about something more like... something that highlights your draw. Ghost Winnie? With a star in the middle? That might be cute. Ooh, mysterious, intriguing, cute! And accurate to boot. Hopefully people don't question the fact that you're slightly transparent too much. That would cause us some trouble. Okay, now how about this? She got into position, arms wide, a huge grin on her face. Hello, my little ghostlings. Ghost Winnie is here. She pulled another pose, making a star symbol with her hands out in front of her. How was that? Whoa, you've already got that down. Really? Does it look cool? Mysterious? Yep, cool and mysterious, with a dash of cute for good measure. Yay! Okay, Ghost Winnie, we've got our name down. Suppose the next thing to do is make social media accounts so you actually have somewhere to be an idol. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch too. Do you want to make videos? Of course. Got it, I'll start setting these up. Do you have an email address already? Maybe? We should probably just make a new one. You maybe have an email? I can't really remember. Alright, new email too. Also probably just a good idea to make a separate email for these kind of things. Tapped away on your keyboard, getting to work. So Winnie, can I ask you something? I'm an open book. Oh, you're a ghost. That's not a question, silly. Wasn't done yet. Are you dead? Ooh, I'm a scary dead person. Hehehehe. I don't know, to be honest. I don't have any memories of my life. Probably? Ghosts are usually dead, right? You lost your memories? I guess so. Or maybe I didn't have any in the first place. Who knows? He's very nonchalant about it. And that doesn't bother you? Why would it? I'm all for the here and now. I guess that's a good way to live. Or, you know what I mean. What was the superstar idol saying then? I thought it was some kind of unfulfilled dream of yours. No, she just saw a cute girl. Maybe it was. Honestly, I just felt like this store was so boring sometimes, you know? So I was brainstorming ways I could help liven the place up, and BAM! I saw this old magazine with a super cool idol on the front cover. Sylvie Wilby thought it'd be a good idea for me to pursue, but she didn't have a computer. I'm so glad you're here now. It's original at the very least. Can't say I know many antique store ghost idols. I'll have the market cornered before you know it. But really, one magazine cover is all it took? Inspiration strikes quickly, you know, but maybe I was looking for my thing. Oh. I think you're starting coding overload right now. I understand that. I think I'm still looking. Isn't selling antiques your thing? Maybe it will be. We'll see. So the idol thing is only recent? I've had the idea for a couple of weeks now. I've been brainstorming all kinds of things while waiting for you. Waiting for me? That was... Julie said you were coming. She said you'd be able to help. So she signed me up for this ahead of time. Well, I don't really mind. Anyway, I was born to be a star. I think I was probably a pop sensation in my past life. Or maybe a famous actor. Or both. You chuckled, shaking your head as you turned away from your laptop. Alright, well, your social media is ready. You're officially one step closer to world domination. This is so exciting. What's next? What's next? Maybe a profile picture? I can take a photo for you. Wait, do you come up in photos? Of course I do. I'm not a vampire, silly. Unlike someone else we know. Thank God, imagine trying to figure out how to market an invisible person online. You lifted your phone up, angling it towards Winnie, who instantly struck a dramatic pose, tilting her head to the side with an exaggerated wink. Actually, that could be a pretty cool, like, account. Like, just taking pictures of places and acting like you're in the photo. That could actually be a pretty fun gimmick. Someone's probably already done it. Jeez! Snapped the photo, checking the screen. Sure enough, she was there, only ever so slightly transparent. If you didn't know she was a ghost, you likely wouldn't have guessed from the picture. Let me see, let me see. She turned the phone screens around her, and she practically bounced up and down in place. So cute, Altair, you're such a good photographer. Well, I think anyone could do this much, but I'm not one to turn down praise. I actually did some photography classes when I was younger. I kind of forgot. Ooh, really? You're so talented. Hardly, I drifted away from it pretty quickly. Same as I drifted away from knitting, journaling, cooking, art. Bro, sorry, I cannot stop yawning. I'm so sleepy. We will be doing the 2 hours. We will be doing until we finish day 5. We will make up for what was lost from the great OBS crash out. Oh, why I didn't enjoy them? I'm not sure. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it, really. I think I've just spent my life chasing for something but never found it. I pick things up, then put them down, waiting for something to just click. Well, I think you're really good at everything. I saw you handle all those customers earlier. Yeah, my single customer that bought an axle. And now you're making me into a superstar like it's nothing. I think I'm falling in love. Not this rude girl. You're funny, Winnie. Thank you. Should I add comedian to my title? Well, why not? Superstar idol and comedian. For now, let's upload your new profile picture. There. Looking good, Winnie. Now we just need content. You said you wanted to do videos? Yep, I should probably, figure out what kind of idol I am. Am I the cool, mysterious type or the super high energy, cheerful kind? I mean, that seems pretty obvious to me, but more importantly, who do you want to be? Would you pause for a second at that? It was brief, so brief that you might have missed it if you weren't paying attention. That's a good question, huh? Guess we'll just find out along the way. This is what makes it fun. Well, you quite literally have all the time in the world to work it out. There's no rush. Take some time thinking about what you want your first post to be, too. Right, I should do some brainstorming. I got it. You brainstorm for like 3 seconds. What can I say? I'm obviously just a natural. So here's the idea. I'll pretend like I'm putting on a show and you can pretend to be in a crowd recording right here in the store. If we post that online, it'll probably go viral. Oh, like a fan cam? Yeah, like that. You don't know what a fan cam is, do you? Maybe it's lost with the rest of my memories. It's just a fan recording of a performance. They're pretty popular online. Alright, I can do that. What are you actually going to, do though? It's a surprise! Are you excited? I don't think I could get any more excited if I tried. Come on, let's go do it then. Isn't it a little dark for something like this? Concerts are usually dark, I think. Don't worry, it's going to add to the atmosphere. Just use your phone torch or something. With that, she stepped up onto the counter, not paying any mind to any of the items there. Which was fine, really, considering she just passed straight through them. Ready? I'll start recording. Mic check, mic check. You don't even have a mic. I'm practicing. Hello, Willowmist. I'm Winnie. No, that's not right. Start again, start again. Hello, my little ghostlings. Ghost Winnie is here, your favorite spirit from beyond the grave. Ooh! Winnie twirled around, throwing her arms out like she was greeting an arena of adoring fans. Woo! Winnie, we love you! Today I'll be singing my debut single, Fall Right Into Place. Winnie took a deep breath, and just like that, her usual energy faded. Her playful grin softened into something more thoughtful, more wistful. And as always, I will not be reading out the lyrics. And she began to sing. She sang with all the passion of a girl with no place to call home. Her voice was light, sweet, airy, but there was a depth beneath it, a kind of yearning woven between the notes. She held one hand out as if she were reaching for something, or someone, just out of grasp. Her voice carried through the still air, filling the empty space. You didn't say anything. It was almost like you couldn't. You just watched her standing there above you, mesmerized by Winnie, the playful, energetic whirlwind of a ghost who suddenly seemed so delicate, so lost in something unseen. She seemed almost caught between her dreams and memories, or lack of them. Winnie. As she hit her final notes, Winnie's eyes fluttered shut as she let the sound settle into the stillness of the room. When she cracked one eye open, grinning. So, how was it? You quickly stopped the recording. Hopefully I got it all. I kind of forgot halfway through why we were doing this. That was beautiful, Winnie. Yay, yippee! Where did that song come from? My mouse. Okay, comedian, I know that much. Did you write it? I think so. I hope so. It's when I first got here, it was in my head. Maybe it's a memory, I'm not sure. But it's pretty, right? It's gorgeous, you're an amazing singer. Well, I wouldn't be a very good idol if I couldn't sing. That's true, I just didn't realize you were that good. You leaned back against the counter, arms crossed as Winnie descended to stand beside you. A memory, huh? Music is a pretty powerful thing. I wonder if it means something. That I've always been destined to be famous? Or maybe? Kind of funny, huh? What is? That I have no clue who I was, but I remember a song. Well, maybe it was important to you, something you held on to even after everything else faded away. Like a little keepsake. Winnie hummed, rocking back and forth on her heels, or while floating in place as if she had heels to rock on. For once, she didn't immediately follow up with a joke, she just thought about it, hands clasped behind her back. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, anything's possible, right? It's a little bittersweet. No, it's all sweet. Don't worry about sad stuff, Altair. I don't care if I remember or not. All that matters is now I'm going to be a superstar. How did the recording turn out? Oh, I think it's good. I'll have to clean it up a little before it's ready to post, though. I can add some special effects, too. Strobe lights, fireworks, a backing track. Okay, temper your expectations a little there. I'm no professional. Hehehehe. Winnie grinned nearly from ear to ear, and you were sure it was contagious, as you found yourself smiling back. A yawn escaped your lips and inadvertently. Tired? All this fame and stuff really wears you out, huh? It's been a long day. You must be more exhausted than me. Not at all. I could sing all night. You might need to come up with some more songs first so you don't get tired. Nope, I can't even remember what sleep feels like. Man, that would be helpful. Pretty cool, huh? Another perk of being a ghost. Doesn't it get lonely? Huh? Oh, sorry, I kinda slipped out. I just mean, while everyone else is sleeping, it must be very quiet around the store. I would prefer to never be hungry than, like, never be able to sleep again. Like, never need to sleep again. I'd rather never have to, like, need to eat again. That would just be very helpful overall. And would just save a lot of money. And not in the case of, like, oh, I just can no longer eat. Just, like, in a, like, I can still eat if I want to, but it's not a necessity. If anything, it's just super boring. Luckily, Florian is usually around, but not tonight, huh? Boo. I'd keep you company if I didn't need to be up first thing in the morning. It's okay, Altair. I'll keep practicing for my big debut. I won't be bored tonight. As your client slash business partner slash soon-to-be worldwide idol slash friend, I officially declare that your shift is over. Why, thank you, my esteemed Winnie. Ooh, I like how that sounds. Uh-oh, if we're not careful, your idol thing will turn into a cold sink, which, honestly, I'm down for, but maybe we hold off for now. I'll get some sleep then. Good night, superstar. Night, Altair. Rest up. Let me know when you finish editing my debut recording too, alright? You got it. Oh, by the way, thanks for helping me get your letter down from the top of my dresser last night. Huh? What do you... I mean, sure, night, Altair. Just like that, Winnie floated up and through the ceiling. Yippee! We are upping our luck. We will up our luck again next time, and then we'll do charm. I think those are like the ones that we need like the most right now for the demo. A ghost idol, what a weird life I'm living. Well, at least I won't get bored out there. With that, you headed back upstairs. You stepped into your room and promptly flopped down on the couch, exhaustion overtaking you. What a day. Between dealing with customers, meeting and helping Winnie with her idol stuff, and everything was flooring, you were left with little energy for yourself. You let your head come to rest on the back of the chair and close your eyes. Just for a moment, you told yourself you just wanted to rest your eyes. Just a minute, then I'll get dinner and go to bed. And just like that, you fell into a light sleep. Upstairs. Wake up. Follow. Rustling leaves. Destiny. Find. Find it. Your eyes should open as soft, insistent whispers ripple through your mind. The first thing you noticed was a cool draft brushing against your skin. And in the dim light of your room, you saw something strange, a scattering of autumn leaves swirling in a gentle motion around and around as if the world's gentlest tornado was inside your room and you were in the center of it. What the hell? Winnie, is that you? No reply came. You felt an inexplicable pull, like a magnetic draw urging you to stand. You got to your feet, and the swirling leaves followed you as if you were commanding them. Which you weren't, as far as you were aware. You looked out the window, but the wind didn't seem to be coming from there. Winnie, is this some kind of practical joke? If it is you, you got me. That pull continued, almost as if dragging you to the door. Swallowing hard, you followed it out of your door and upstairs. You had expected to see Winnie when you entered the room, but you found the attic empty. The pull continued, dragging you further into the room relentlessly. Dust motes danced in the beam of moonlight that streamed in through the stained glass window as you made your way to one of the dressers, pushing aside boxes in your path. The closer you got, the more the temperature seemed to drop, and the leaves twirling around you began to glow. Cautiously, you reached out and brushed your fingers against the smooth wood of the dresser, your heart pounding. It was icy to the touch, much colder than you would have expected. With a deep breath, you pulled open the drawer and found a book. It looked old, leather-bound, with no writing on the front or spine that you could see. Carefully, steadily, you reached in and took it from its place in the drawer, blowing a layer of dust off the surface. As soon as you made contact with it, the leaves swirling around you exploded into gold dust, shimmering through the air before coming to rest on the wooden floor. The temperature of the room returned to normal, and you were left once again exhausted. Strange book in hand, you made your way back to your bedroom. You set down the book on the small dining table in the kitchen and changed into your pajamas. Whatever strange thing was going on right now, it could certainly wait until morning. You crawled into bed, heart still racing, and closed your eyes. Despite the adrenaline running in your veins, weariness overtook you, and soon enough you fell back into a much deeper sleep. And we move on to day 5. The sing-songy chirping of a group of small blue birds on your windowsill woke you from your sleep. You sat up and yawned, stretching out your shoulders with a pop. I'm sure that's not meant to pop. Really? I don't know, man. Everything in my body pops. Rubbing your blurry eyes, memories of last night suddenly resurfaced. Filled with alarm, you searched out the book you'd found and noticed that there was nothing on your table anymore. Was it all a dream? God, I need to stop watching TV or something. Abruptly, a book fell into your lap as if someone had dropped it. A very familiar leather-bound book. Oh, does this place have a second ghost or something? Absent-mindedly, you began to flick through the pages, but instead of being greeted with a journal like you expected, you found strange, intricate drawings, almost like sigils. They looked old, but incredibly well kept, and you couldn't read a word of it. You flicked to the front page, and in the bottom corner of the page was a single word, or in this case, a name. Marigold. Is this Aunt Sylvie's? Because what is going on around here? Ghosts and knights, sure, but people around here are different. Does that mean she was too? It did make sense to you, kind of. Your aunt was a little strange in a curious way. Okay, Mr. Book, I'm going to leave you here, but I'll come back to you later tonight, I promise. There's no need to follow me around the store, right? I've got work to do, but trust me, you and I have a date tonight, alright? Don't go anywhere. You set the leather-bound book carefully on your desk, taking note of exactly where you leave it. All you wanted to do at that moment was find answers, but instead you turned to your door. There was work to be done, inventory needed sorting, bills to be paid, and customers waited to come spend their hard-earned money. And talk to you, apparently, since that's what your aunt did, helped people. We still don't need to, like, clean the store all that much, so we're gonna sort through the stores and then we'll man the counter. You remember the line from Aunt Sylvie's letter as you hold another box across the attic. And for heaven's sake, don't try to sell the vase with a bird on it. It's cursed. It sounded a bit like a warning, but also a hint, and curiosity was eating away at you. If I were a cursed vase, where would I hide? Oh my god. Your rummage was more heart than technique, but no bird pattern vase, not even a feather. Either it's excellent at hiding or not here at all. Ah, well, I'll find you one day. You repacked the chaos as best you could and made a mental note to return to the search at a later time. And we got nothing out of it. You begin searching through your aunt's collection. Ooh! Probably not haunted. Okay. Yeah, we can trust that. We'll send this for 15. You had just stepped away from the counter to grab lunch when the door opened and Florian came waltzing in, covered once again with his sunglasses and bucket hat. Florian! Hey. How are you feeling? Did you get some sleep? Deep set bags under his eyes didn't look very promising. I'm fine enough to work. That's not what I asked you. Well, if you say so, but you should think about going to see a doctor or something if it continues. Didn't I tell you to stop worrying about me? Yeah, but no one said I had to listen. Good day, Sir Florian. Pray, forgive my intrusion, but might I inquire about this peculiar contraption you have hanging from your pocket? I have never seen its like before. Lucille stepped over from the side of the store, helmet under her arm. She gestured towards a pair of headphones connected to Florian's phone, which was half hanging out of his pocket. The pair of headphones. Headphones, a peculiar name. I have heard of a phone. Phone to Lady Sylvie, but not these headphones. They're tiny mini phones that you put into your ears and they put the screen in your brain. Winnie popped up from out of nowhere, grinning at Lucille. That's so. What? No, she's bullshitting you. They're just little speakers. You have to be careful or the tiny phones will invade your ears and take over your mind. That's quite terrifying, Lady Winona. I believe I will keep my distance from these headphones. Why would she do her like that? I'm telling you she's lying. Look, you listen to music through them. Brilliant held the headphones out to Lucille, who raised a hand. My warmest thanks, but I believe it's best to let my ears remain free of such intrusions. Why do you never listen to me? She's playing a trick on you. I do not believe Lady Winona would lead me astray. And I would. Rudy's messing with you, really. They're just for listening to music. You might like them. Thank you, Altair, but if that is truly the case, there's plenty of music to hear without using technology. I do not understand. The singing of birds, the rustling of leaves, I believe I will make do for now. Man, I'm too tired for this shit. Perhaps a caffeinated beverage would be of assistance, Sir Florian. I shall go fetch you one. Altair? Give me a hot chocolate. That will be no problem, Lady Winona. I apologize that I cannot offer you a beverage too. Hey, it's okay, Lucy. I'll just enjoy it from afar. You really don't need to. Why does he always look like a sad puppy? Oh, you're so... I shall be back post-haste. At that, Lucille left out the front door, a spring in her step. I'm gonna keep practicing. Bye-bye, lazy bones. When he floated back up and through the ceiling, you weren't sure you'd ever get used to that. Seriously though, are you doing alright? It's just some personal shit. It has nothing to do with work. Alright, but don't overwork yourself too much, yeah? Actually, I'm glad we have a second alone. I wanted to talk to you. Why? I guess you're kind of the person I know best in town. Why? I'm not the kind of person that people confide in. I disagree. You're really easy to talk to. What is it? I found something. Congratulations. Would you prefer a ribbon or a medal? Is both an option? No. Damn, you got me all excited for no reason. But seriously, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was a tornado in my room. Right, a tornado in your room. You're not taking me seriously right now. No shit. You're telling me there was a tornado in your room. Okay, listen. Not a tornado exactly, but a lot of wind and leaves, and they were swirling around me. Uh-huh. And it led me to a book I can't read, but that doesn't matter right now. As soon as I touched it, it all disappeared. What's going on here? Are you an idiot or something? Whoa, where's that coming from? And yeah, probably. I told you, this town is full of all kinds of people, that includes your aunt. There's probably a reason she wanted you to come take over. She always has her reasons, she just never actually tells anyone about them. I think she gets off on leaving people confused. Just a week ago, if you told me that ghosts and time-traveling knights and magic books existed, I would call you crazy. Now I'm just meant to accept all of that? I don't know. You're doing a pretty good job of it. Am I? Do you like Winnie and Lucille? Of course, they're both great. But who cares if they're a little different? And what about me? Maybe you're a little different too. Does it matter? Says the vampire. Well, no, but it's just kind of tossing everything I thought I knew to the wind. Yeah, well, that's life. One day you're a normal person doing normal shit, and the next everything's turned upside down without your permission. Speaking from experience there? I don't know what you're talking about. If you say so. Anyway, thanks, Florian. I guess I just have to be open-minded. I mean, I can't just not believe any of it's true, seeing as the evidence is right in front of my eyes. Can't wish away fighting off a tornado in your bedroom. It wasn't like that. I apologize for the wait, my friends. Wait, you were gone for all of 5 minutes. A midday jog helps me clear my mind. Please, enjoy. Place down a small tray on the counter with 3 drinks carefully tucked into it. You quickly took yours, glad for it, and Lucille picked up something floral smelling. What have you got there? Shopkeep called it a whiteberry forest tea. Why didn't you offer me tea? I will admit I have not yet tried such a thing, but I tend to keep away from coffee. I said you didn't have to get me anything. It would be unbecoming of a knight to offer a drink to Altair, not you, Sir Florian. Please. I'm not thirsty, says the vampire, who doesn't drink coffees or stuff like that. I don't need blood. Truly? Then I apologize. I did not mean to make you uncomfortable. It's not, With a grumble, Florian picked up his drink. It smelled like strong, dark, rich coffee. There, are you happy now? I've got work to do. With that, he took off, coffee in hand. Is he always so pleasant? If by pleasant you mean acts as if some knave had defiled his morning gruel, then yes, Sir Florian has been rather somber from the moment we met some months ago now. Well, I guess even Grumpy is charming in its own way. I'm sure he has his reasons. That is true. If I were to speak my mind, I would say he holds little belief in himself. Unfortunately, though, I do not know the circumstances that have led him to think like that. Regardless, under his solemn exterior, he feels full of kindness. I'm with you there. He might roll his eyes or grumble a little, but he always stopped to help me where I needed it. Now that is enough idle rest. I must take my watch and secure the perimeter of this establishment. Wait, you barely had a break. You were running an errand. Though my respite was brief, the call of duty is constant. I would not delay in safeguarding you and this store. Okay. Lucille bowed low. Oh my god. Bowed low to you before leaving out of the front door once again. Well, back to work, I guess. I have a cat at the door demanding entrance. The cat is currently on the desk. Hola. ¿Hacéis algo? She's intrigued by my bottle of water. So that does mean she's currently standing in front of my screen. She's intrigued now by the face tracking. She's like, what is this? What is this? She's just like, suspicious. Okay, what do we price it at? What do we price it at with me? Please leave the bottle of water alone. Oye. Ara. I need to close the new bottle of water before she starts deciding that she needs to attack it. There. Okay, let's normal, common. Can I? Hello? Excuse me? Oh my goodness, okay. Let's make this 15. Get seated behind the counter, ready for today's customers. Yay! She just came in here and said I have $2 and buttons and left. Are we serious? But I need money! I need money! It's a little past 5 p.m. and you're sweeping a few stray leaves from the floor when the door is pushed open once again. And then 5 more leaves join you, awaiting their inevitable sweeping. Greetings, Sir Emmett. You have arrived in a most fortuitous time. I don't have money. Sir Florian and I were just debating over whether Altair would neglect to pay the bills or not this week. Well... if I had more customers showing up... You're not supposed to tell anyone that. It was just between us. Do I look that forgetful? Do you want me to answer that honestly? No, I'm not sure. Emmett adjusted his glasses, pushing them up from the center of his fingertips. Hi. You're so tall. No bills will go unpaid while I'm still contracted. What's that supposed to mean? Everything would fall apart if I fired you? I didn't say that, but you're free to assume that what you will. He's like, yes. Careful, if you speak to me so nicely, people will think you actually enjoy my company. My apologies, we wouldn't want that, would we? Now, I'll set up my computer on the counter and we can go through your books together. I did bring my own laptop if that makes things easier. It would stop me having to come and assist you every week. Yes, Miss Marigold never did have any interest in technology. Aww. I miss out on hanging with you? Praise the sod. I would be happy to show you how to digitize your accounting yourself, and then there would be no need for me to come here every week. You would save money and I would save time. That sounds like a win-win to me, from business owner to business owner. But what about your wonderful company? Yeah, what about your wonderful company? It could be used on another client, I assure you. Fine, it's upstairs. Should I bring it down? Upstairs is adequate. A quieter location might be a good idea. Emmett looked sideways to where Florian and Winnie were currently discussing a new movie that had just been released, and then towards Lucille, who was sharpening her sword. Probably a good idea. The two of you headed upstairs and into your apartment. Home, sweet home. Can I get you something to drink? Coffee would be fantastic, thank you. You crouched down to look in the back of your aunt's cupboard. There were around a dozen different kinds of tea in beautiful little embossed tins with handwritten labels. Your aunt's handwriting? It sure looked like it. Pushing those aside, you found what... Can I speak? You found what looked like a 20-year-old container of instant coffee. For warning, I think this coffee is older than I am. Would you expect anything less from the owner of an antique store? Touché. I'm just saying, if you get poisoned, please don't sue me. All I have to pay you is buttons and pocket lint. I can't say a client has tried to pay me with pocket lint before, but I've been known to set buttons on occasion because you're a fae. Peered up at him. He'd sat down at your kitchen table at some point, scrutinizing his face. Seriously? No, why would I have said buttons? It was a joke. Wow, it's actually kind of impressive how you can keep a completely straight face while joking. I thought maybe you worked with a button factory. I do, but they pay me by direct deposit. You do? No, there's no button factories anywhere near Willowmist. Alright, wise guy, how am I meant to know when you're joking, huh? You stood up, quickly pouring both Emmett and yourself a cup of the maybe perhaps kinda out-of-date instant coffee. Here's hoping it's still drinkable. Handed him a cup and placed your own cup on the spot beside his, then collected your laptop, which was still open, to Winnie's idol page. Fan of idols? I used to be an idol back in the day. That's so. Yep, big into singing, dancing, all that. And you decide to pack it all up and move to the countryside to sell antiques? Well, the spotlight isn't for everyone, I just shine too brightly. It's fortunate you have something to fall back on if this doesn't work out then. Putting aside the non-work talk, please navigate to this website and download the software. I will give you a license to use it under my business. Emmett pulled out his own laptop and showed you the download page for some piece of accounting software, which you promptly downloaded. Have you ever used a program like this before? What if I said I had? I would inquire whether you were lying or not. Okay, I haven't really. I'm new to all of this. Any guidance you can give me is appreciated. Not to worry. It's rather beginner friendly and your aunt's business is quite simple. It's all cash in and cash out. I would suggest continuing to use the book downstairs for keeping track of sales, as Miss Marigold will find it more comfortable when she returns, but once a week you can copy the numbers in here. He leaned over slightly, pointing towards the screen. Miss Marigold chooses to pay off her bills weekly. I had suggested monthly or every 2 weeks, but she was adamant about it. These bills will cover water, power, and the usual. Payment for your employees is already paid directly out of your aunt's account, so there is no need to worry about that. That saves me a bit of effort. Just make sure to put some time aside every weekend for paying bills. Got it, my weekends are about to go crazy. So I just click here to find my bills? No, over here. He leaned over again and you couldn't help but notice the scent of his cologne. It was almost floral. In fact, if you had to pinpoint the way it smelled, maybe sparkly? Little fae boy. Oh, he's so fucking pretty. Distracted, your hand brushed against his and for a split second time seemed to pause. Emmett quickly pulled his hand back and cleared his throat before continuing on like nothing happened. Yes, just there. Click on this tab and it will show you an overview of your pending payments for the week. Oh, right, I got it. Thanks, Emmett. From here on, it should be straightforward. However, since it's your first time, we'll stick around and assist you with filling in some sales data from the book downstairs. Really? That's awfully kind of you. At that, he let out a rare laugh. I'm paid by the hour, Altair. I wouldn't call it kindness. Oh, I see. Looking to fill up your bank account, huh? Nah. That's the point of running a business, yes. I appreciate the help nonetheless, even if it comes from a selfish place. Want another coffee before we start, Numbers Boy? Numbers Boy? You like numbers, don't you? I... Yes, I suppose so. I know, one of those coffees was enough to last me a lifetime, thank you. If I have to drink another, it will be too soon. You know, that's very fair. That is very fair. I'll grab the book then. Feel free to make yourself comfortable. You headed back downstairs and spent the next several hours going through the handwritten records on the left, plus your recent additions. Fortunately, just as Emmett said, it was a rather simple task, just very time-consuming. My nose is so fucking itchy. Oh my god! And done. Well, that was fun. It was, yes. Okay, now I'm the one who was joking. I think I'll leave all the numbers to you. Not much is obvious. I had to stop you from entering the wrong amount at least a dozen times. Hey, I'm learning. Does that mean if this doesn't work out, I won't be getting an apprenticeship at your accounting firm? Spend a few more years studying, and then maybe you'll have a chance. At an interview. Well, what's the point of knowing anyone if you can't even get a job through nepotism? I believe that a friendship is required for nepotism to work. Are you saying you don't want to be my friend, even though I'm so effortlessly charming, witty, and funny? I do not have time for friendships, Mr. Marigold, so I apologize, but a nepotistic position at my company is not likely. That's not how it seemed when I bumped into you the other night. What do you mean? At the Silver Oak. You were there? Am I that forgettable? We're sitting a few... It's encoding error again. Stop doing that. We're close to being done with this part. We were sitting a few tables away from me. Lucille and I were leaving when you told me I was doing a great job with the store and you wanted to see me again. And then you asked me out to dinner. I believe you're confusing me with someone else. Nope, it was definitely you. Lucille saw you too. So that's a no to hanging out? It's late. I believe that our time is up. I will bill Miss Marigold directly for our session. Stood hastily, and the sound of wood scraping against wood echoed through the small room as he threw back his chair and began quickly putting all of his papers and laptop back in his briefcase. And maybe we could... I should really be on my way. Good night, Altair. Don't forget to brush your teeth tonight. Brush my... In a hurry, Emmett rushed out of the door and down the stairs, leaving you staring at the empty spot where he'd been just a moment ago. Don't forget to brush my teeth. What is he, my mother? Wait, what's that? Folded up piece of paper remained on the table. You unfolded it to see a letter addressed to Emmett. Resisting the urge to snoop, you instead folded it back up and found your hands covered in sparkles because he's a fae. What the? You brushed them off on your shirt, then touched the paper again. Once again covered in sparkles despite the paper looking crisp and white. Emmett will probably want this. Taking the letter in hand, you dashed downstairs. Where did he go? We just need to get a 5. He can't have gone that far. Trust in yourself, Altair. You set off on foot, walking through the darkened town. It was a clear night and the sky was full of more stars than you could count. It was certainly different to back home. You were walking like this in a search of Emmett, was slightly distracted by the sight above. And you heard a meow? Then another and another. Where's that coming from? Following the noise, you turned into a side street and saw a group of kittens huddled together and surrounding a certain man. Don't worry, I brought you food, so there's no need to get violent. There, eat. Emmett was crouched low to the ground, holding out a small white plate bordered with yellow ducks for the group of tiny cats. As the kittens meowed and ate, he stroked them gently, smiling. His normally serious face had been replaced by a softer expression. Well, I wasn't expecting to find my favorite numbers boy feeding strays. Ah! What are you doing here? As he spoke, his voice cracked and the kittens scattered, leaving the two of you alone in the dim moonlight. Maybe I enjoyed your company so much I didn't want it to end yet? You what? Is that so unlikely? You've known me for a handful of days and all we've done is talk business. Maybe I just like listening to you talk? I looked at you incredulously as if trying to gauge if you were joking or not. Okay, I do like you, Emmett, but I found you for a reason. You left something at the store and I wanted to return it. Really? Here. Sorry for spooking you. You held the letter out to him, and he finally stood up from his crouched position, dusting the dirt off his pants. He reached out and took the letter, carefully, as if not to tear it. Did you read it? I'm not as nosy as I look. No, I didn't read it, I promise. Well, Emmett cleared his throat and adjusted his tie before tucking the letter away inside his jacket. I apologize for my prior rudeness. This was highly unprofessional of me. I'm not expecting you to be professional outside of your work hours. In fact, I think you could probably loosen up the tie a little bit, even during business. Do you like cats? I suppose you could say that. That's not a yes or a no. They're small and cute. And am I small and cute? I mean, I'm smaller than you. Am I also cute? Eh? Eh? And he's blushing. Do I count as small and cute too? Are you a cat? Do I need to be a cat? Oh my god, bro, stand up! Stand up! No, do I need to be a cat? I could meow if you'd like. You have no sense of humor, do you? I'm joking, Emmett. You don't have to take everything so seriously. He let out a sigh and shook his head. You're an overwhelming person, you know that? We hardly know each other and now you're trying to meow at me in an alleyway. Okay, well, when you put it like that, I sound like a weirdo. If the shoe fits, then what can I say? Maybe you just need someone to help you let loose a little. That could be me, if you'd like. What exactly do you want from me? I just want to get to know you. I can't do that if you're always running away. Overwhelming and persistent. It's part of my charm. Thank you for returning my letter, Mr. Marigold, but it's late and I really should be getting home now. So you should too. And how about letting me walk you home? There's no need for that. It's hardly a 10-minute walk from here. I know there's probably no need, but can I do it anyway? At that he sighed and his shoulders drooped. Fine, if it makes you happy. That doesn't mean I consider us friends. The two of you started walking through the dark streets. There was a cool breeze and you pulled your clothes tighter around yourself. God, he's so pretty. How about close acquaintances? We can start there. Great, you won't regret it. Smiled brightly and Emmett looked at you out of the corner of his eye. So, my close acquaintance, am I allowed to ask you something? If I asked you not to talk to me, you wouldn't do it, would you? I don't talk that much, do I? Emmett remained silent. Whoa, ouch. Okay, I can't tell if you're joking or not. That's kind of terrifying. But okay, going back to the topic at hand, what was with you the other night? Seriously, I don't think I'm going crazy. I definitely saw you there. I was afraid you'd ask that. Fine. I'll tell you, but this will stay between us. My lips are sealed. And they could also be sealed by a kiss. I have a low alcohol tolerance. Huh? The normal, non-supernatural answer stunned you at first, and then you were surprised by your own reaction. Why did you expect it to be something different? Wait, that's really it? Why would I lie to you about that? It's embarrassing enough to admit. I guess it's just so mundane, like compared to a ghost or a time-traveling knight. And what does that have to do with anything? Oh, don't worry about it. So you really were just drunk the other night? Quinn offered me some of his homemade cider and I felt embarrassed to turn it down. It was only one drink, but that's all it takes. I apologize that you had to see me that way. It was actually kind of adorable, seeing you act so nice, sweet, talkative. Adorable? A 31-year-old man is hardly adorable. And yet here you are, how strange. This is why I try to avoid alcohol. How much does it take to get you drunk exactly? Like one sip? Please do not test that. Can't tell me all that and then not follow up with a number, Emmett. Where's the fun in that? God, I've already told you too much. Yes, even one sip will do it to me. It's not something I'm proud of. Because he's a fae. If it helps, I'm not much of a drinker either. That's why the early 20s are for. That's what the early 20s are for. Now I'm old enough, my bones are creaking. You can't be more than 25. Ooh, are you complimenting me, my dear accountant? Trying to get on my good side? Hardly. I'm 26, actually, but you were close. What are you doing out here in the middle of nowhere, 26? What's this I hear? Someone wants to get to know me? It's only curiosity. To tell you the truth then, I have no clue. You have no clue? I was getting a little burnt out working part-time jobs and thought maybe some time away from the city would be good for me. Running the store was just a lucky opportunity. I haven't seen my aunt since I was a kid. It would be like Miss Marigold to leave a near stranger in charge of her business. I don't think she had much of a choice. There's something in my eye. My grandparents passed away and my mom, well, they don't talk for some reason. What about you? And you can whistle out of my invasive question this time. You asked first. I moved to town a few years ago. With your business? That came after. I arrived in this town with only the clothes on my back. Well, at least you had clothes. Imagine turning up here naked. That'd be embarrassing. I doubt I'd be the first person this town to try to sell kinds of people. Like you, my non-nudist friend. You didn't answer my question, by the way. Why did you move here? Complicated and a new start, and I didn't have much else. This town just seemed quiet. I'd have to agree with that. My previous job was quite intensive. I lived within the same building as I worked and rarely had a day off. I didn't really have a life beyond that. When the opportunity presented itself, I took it to leave. Was it accounting related? Kind of. Thank you, that's very specific. Emmett suddenly stopped outside a small 2-story high apartment building. There looked to be a sign hanging out the front, Finch Advisory. What are you, some kind of workaholic? Yes, but I live above my practice, it's just easier. If it was greatly unnecessary, thank you for seeing me home. You really didn't have to. Seriously, you didn't. I know I didn't, I just wanted to. You're incredibly strange. Thank you. I did not intend it as a compliment. Well, I'll take it that way. Unsurprising. Thank you for returning my letter and the walk. Good night, Mr. Marigold. He gave you a curt nod and then walked towards the building before stopping in his doorway and suddenly fishing around in his briefcase. Just as you were about to turn around and head back to the store, Emmett cleared his throat and walked back over to you before shoving something in your hand. A small card. You did already give me your business card, but now I have a spare, thanks. I read my number on that one. Oh? For emergencies only. Maybe being lonely at night is an emergency. I don't know. Oh my god, OBS, stop having encoding errors. Emmett pushed his glasses up before turning around and finally entering the building, leaving you to stand alone in the dark streets, the door closed behind him. Flipping over the card in your hands, you could see both a mobile number and a personal email address scrawled in messy, loose handwriting. Does this mean we're friends now? A click sounded through the empty street as a window was pulled open ever so slightly. No. And then it was shut again. With a smile, you pocketed the card and started on your way back to the store. Wait, only one heart despite all the heart choices? The shop floor was quiet when you entered. All the lights had been turned off and only the faint glow of the moon illuminated the store. Florian didn't look to be around. Maybe he was cleaning in the storeroom, or maybe he'd finally accepted he was sick and needed to rest. Likely the former. Oh, my nose is so fucking itchy. You strode across the store, ready to head up the stairs. Altair, you have returned. Ah! Jesus, Lucille, what are you doing hiding in the dark? Hiding, and I does not hide. I was merely keeping guard while waiting for your return. Late, you should be home. In truth, I did attempt to head home earlier, but the town was too quiet. I feared leaving the store unguarded, so I intended to come check on you. Sir Florian informed me that you had gone out and not returned, and I grew concerned. Ah, right, Emmett left something here, so I had to hunt him down. Things are coming to check on me, Lucille, but really, it's way outside your pay grade to have to guard me after hours. This is nothing about pay, Altair. I need no reward, only the knowledge that you are safe and well. Thanks, Lucille, and I'm totally fine. In fact, we were talking and I walked Emmett home. I'm not sure how happy he was about the whole thing, but you know, maybe it's the thought that counts. Noble deed, no matter how small, is never wasted. Yeah, I guess that's true. It was kind of fun too. Lucille placed her helmet on her head, then brushed herself off. Well, if everything is in order, I will take my leave. Do not worry, I will not allow myself to be late tomorrow morn. She bowed low, then started towards the door. Wait, can I walk you home too? Lucille paused for a moment, then turned and walked back over to you, placing her hand on your shoulder. And allow you to see yourself home alone. Nay. I would not. She shook her head. I have a means to protect myself, should brigands put upon me. You do not. It would not be fitting. Do not worry, I will be well. If it is not your duty to escort me to and fro. Something, I need no reward, only the knowledge that you are safe and well. Leave the protection to me, Altair. While I live and breathe, I will never allow hair on your head to be harmed. Fine, but one day I'm going to force you to let me look after you too. That's the deal. She nodded. You're a stubborn one. Very well. A deal it is, until next time then. He gave you another nod before heading out to the front door and disappearing into the night. The sound of the bell's chiming faded as the door closed, and once again the store was plunged into silence. You waited for a minute or two until you heard the sound of her footsteps growing distant, then locked at the front door and started back up the stairs. Your room was much as you left it, cluttered by decades and decades of use. It wasn't quite home yet, but it was nice. It was a nice change from the dingy apartment you'd called your own for the last few years. You walked over the kitchen table and closed your laptop. With all the rush of chasing after Emmett, you had forgotten you still had cleaning up to do. With a sigh, you packed up the various papers that still scattered the surfaces before placing your laptop back on your desk. Wait a second. Where'd the book go? You quickly started searching around your desk and under it, but it was nowhere in sight. Hey, book, where'd you go? I know I didn't imagine you. No response. With a grumble, you began turning the room upside down in search of it, under your bed and the wardrobe, in every cupboard and drawer, but no matter how hard you searched, it seemed to be missing. Finally exhausted, you sat down at your desk and found it sitting on the surface as if it had never gone missing in the first place. You're messing with me, aren't you? Still no response, so that what would have been more surprising would have been getting a response, really. Alright then, book, play difficult, see if I can. You picked it up and flicked... Oh my god, encoding error again. Shut up, OBS. You picked it up and flicked through the pages. It was the same as before, page after page after page of sigils and writing in a script you couldn't read. One page at a time, you painstakingly searched from high to low for anything you could read. An hour later, you slammed the book down onto your desk, frustrated. Nothing. You wanted me to find you, didn't you? Why are you being so difficult now? At that moment, a cloud drifted lazily by in the star-filled sky outside, and the moon shone through your window, casting a beam of light onto the desk. The light shone on the open book, and as if a switch had been flipped, the entire book began to glow. The brightness burned your eyes, and you covered them, turning away and squeezing your eyelids shut. After a few moments, the glow faded, and when you looked again, the book was still there, sitting on the desk, but something had changed. Where before you saw plain, used leather, now you saw in beautiful gilded edges and trinketed embossing. It looked like a piece of art more than a book. But suddenly it snapped closed as if caught in a strong breeze. Oh, well, I never! A voice echoed from the book, and slowly it began to float off the table, hovering just a few inches in the air. Wrong one. There you go. First, you ignore me for an entire day, as though I were some common dime a dozen grimoire. And now you have the gall to pause through my pages to all the delicacy of an ogre cracking walnuts. Appalling, simply appalling. He let out a long-suffering sigh. I was created by the finest scribes, imbued with the wisdom of archmages long since reduced to dust, and this is how I am treated to handle like some distorted cookbook filled with peasant recipes for root stew and boiled turnips. If a book could glare, you were sure the book was glaring at you at that moment. Well, have you anything to say for yourself, you crude, tome-mangling barbarian? You're a book. A book! A book! Why, you wretched foul-mannered. Whoa, no need to get worked up. God, what am I saying to a book? How are you talking? I am far from a book. I am an archive of the ages, a collection of arcane lore, a repository of incantations. So a book. Oh, the sheer depths of your ignorance astound me. One would think even a mind as so tragically mundane as yours could grasp such rudimentary concepts. And you must be a so-called wizard or witch, whatever tawdry moniker you humans are calling yourself these days, yes? No, I'm just... And now you drool open upon my pages and mutter incantations with all the grace of a toad gargling mud. What a joy! I suppose there is a positive side to this. Soon you will likely turn yourself into a particularly stupid-looking beetle, and I will no longer have to deal with your ignorance. Though, truth be told, I doubt anyone would notice the difference. What's going on here? What is going on here is that you are an imbecile and an inconsiderate lout. I have been here patiently waiting a proper spellcaster for years, only to find myself stuck with some dim-witted oaf who doesn't have the common sense not to handle my pages with her sweaty, sticky hands. How are you? So the peasant finally decides to address me as something other than a measly book. Congratulations truly on the progress. I am Barnabas the Magnificent, eternal chronicler of magic most high, and patron saint of arcane perfection, linguistic superiority, and the grossly underappreciated art of proper book handling. Something you sorely lack. You're a talking spellbook. Oh, certainly, if you wish to diminish my grandeur to the mere status of a talking book, then by all means, wallow in your simplistic understanding of the arcane. How someone like you is to be fit by my master, I will never understand. The fates truly must despise me. I'm your master? That is how this works. I, the glorious and sublime Barnabas, was created by a powerful magician to assist her in the mastery of her craft. However, when she died, she bound me to her bloodline. Long have I been passed down from generation to generation, waiting to find a master worthy of my knowledge, and somehow despite all odds, I have ended up in the possession of a clueless dunderhead. I think you're getting confused. I'm not a witch or a wizard or whatever crazy fantasy you've got in that head pages of yours. Preposterous. Only a magic practitioner could open my pages, even if that magic practitioner is the least adept one to have ever lived. My god, stop having encoding overload. You know what? I think I'm going to put you away in a drawer. Put me away? Like as though I were a mere object? Oh, the audacity. Well, be my guest. At that you stood, walked across your room and threw open the top drawer of your dresser. You stuffed him in there with your underwear and slammed it shut. How dare you! This is an affront to the very motion of my being. I say, let me out immediately. You're a really cold book, aren't you? Just teleport out. Teleport? I am not a mere burglar trick. I am an object of arcane beauty, a masterpiece of craftsmanship. Yeah, you're a really cool talking book. Fine, have it your way. While you languid in your mundaneness, never to know the truth of your potential, I will begin reciting the first 5,000 volumes of the great Encyclopedia Arcana. Barnabas began to loudly, obnoxiously recite the contents of a series of books you'd never heard of, despite your attempts to cover ears. Finally, unable to take it any longer, you ripped open the drawer, pulled the book out, and placed it back on your desk. Instantly, Barnabas stopped. Alright, enough already. Look, I'm sorry, okay? You're a book, a talking book. It's a little overwhelming. A little overwhelming. Try having someone lick their fingers before flicking through your pages. My bad. The book sighed. Yes, it is very much your bad. Now listen here. Whether you and I like it or not, we are stuck together. I am yours and you are my master. Barnabas floated up into the air. It is now your duty to continue the line of marigold spellcasters and use the powers I have to offer you to become the most powerful being this town has ever seen. I'm not sure if I want to become some magical overlord. And why not? I was created by a mighty sorceress, and now she is dead. It is your destiny to continue her legacy. Look, I run an antique store. That's kind of what takes up all my time at the moment. Unless you have some spells in there that'll make me super successful and rich. Right, I keep the Give Me Vast Fortune spell right next to the one for turning people into beetles. You're really sarcastic for a book, you know. I have to be considering my current circumstances. And as you're my new master, I'm afraid the sarcasm is likely here to stay. Oh goody. God, what's happening to my life right now? I'll have you know I was flipping burgers a week ago. A burger flipper? Ugh, no wonder you handled me so roughly. My head hurts. Luckily day 5 almost over, so we will be ending stream soon. I have spent years and years in the care of some of the most talented wizards and witches in history, and I am handed over to a grease-stained fry cook. Oh, the shame. It's not like I chose you. That makes 2 of us then. It's not like I chose you either. Look, Barnabas, we're not getting anywhere here. Why don't you tell me a little more about yourself? If we get to know each other, maybe we can get along better. Oh, so now you wish to know about me? Excellent social grace, master. The book cleared its throat. As I told you before, I am the great and magnificent Barnabas, courteous to the once magnificent marigold line. Why did my aunt never tell me about you? How should I know? She was always a rather distant woman and left me to grow dusty on the shelves, a true crime. You've always been a book? Of course, I am the sum of all the magic ever recorded by the Marigold family. Every spell, every enchantment, every bit of knowledge is all kept right here. A dim-witted oaf like you would have no hope of handling all that magic, so I am limited to the knowledge I can give to you. If you wish to learn every spell in my repertoire, then you will need to prove to me through practice and training that you are a worthy recipient. I don't know much about time I'll have for training in between keeping the store afloat and dealing with the locals' problems. No fault of mine, perhaps you should have been born with the aptitude to become a magician instead of a menial. Come here. What, and allow you to manhandle me again? Absolutely not. Come on, Barnabas, how am I supposed to practice if I'm not allowed to look at you? Ugh, fine, but do not dodger my pages, else I'll make good on my promise to turn you into a beetle. With a huff, Barnabas floated towards you, hovering in the air. He lifted a hand and carefully took the cover before flipping through the pages. While many of the pages were still written in a way you couldn't understand, some pages at the front seemed to suddenly be legible. Do not think that you have gained my trust by any means. If I had hands, they would be on my hips and I would be giving you the sternest of looks. I am allowing you to peruse my pages only because there is a small chance that somewhere within that pea-sized brain there is a shred of talent. Yeah, you don't trust me and I get it. I get it. How do I start? First, yet you have no experience in the arts whatsoever. I suppose it would be best if you picked one spell to practice. No, actually I shouldn't, because let's be frank, your judgment is clear, poor and unreliable. Against my better judgment, I shall alter the contents of my pages to provide a use in your mundane life as much as it pains me. Barnabas flipped his pages, then, seemingly of his own accord, started glowing with a bright golden light. With this, I have modified the spell Revelatio Obscura. Now, upon successfully casting such a spell, your eyes will have an easier time spotting things that are hidden. If the spell fails, it is because you are, in fact, a worthless and talentless excuse for a human and nothing to do with my modifications. I mean, that feels pretty, like, a good excuse for you. Maybe you're just a bad book. So it helps me find things? I can think of a few times that could be useful. Well, yes, if that is all, please put me away somewhere, preferably not here where you keep your filthy undergarments. Oh, wait, you have to teach me how to cast a spell first. Must I? Isn't that your whole point of existence? My point is to hold information and not hold your hand. Figure it out yourself. Fine, but if I accidentally set the store on fire, it's on you. You pulled out the chair on your desk, sat down, and then reached out and grabbed Barnabas. Please don't let my pages be burned. It would be terribly inconvenient. I'll try, but no promises. Ignoring him, you started studying the page. It detailed how to cast a spell with various diagrams, drawings, and words. As you read, the letters and images seemed to float off the page and into your mind until finally everything sunk in. You pulled out a notebook and began scribbling sigils left, right, and center. If this was what magic was like, it was going to be a lot easier than you saw it. Once satisfied, you put Barnabas back down on the table and pushed the chair back. Time for a little field testing. You placed the notebook down on your ground in front of you, stuck out your hand, and... Revelatio obscura. Nothing happened. Revelatio obscura. Nothing. With a groan, you tried one more time, waving your arms about wildly. Revelatio obscura. Utterly hopeless. Shut up, I have this. You're far from having this. Your pronunciation is that of an illiterate stable boy. Try again, slowly this time, if you please. You know, if my nose could stop being itchy, and I could also stop having my... You took a deep breath, feeling the way your lungs filled the air, and focused on the spell. Revelatio obscura. A lamp in the corner of the room began to flicker on and off, and the hanging plants near the window swayed gently, despite no wind that night. Congratulations, Master. You're truly a master of the craft. The world trembled before your might. Hey, it worked. Look at that, I did it. Yes, congratulations on making a lamp flicker. That does mean it worked, right? Yes, the sword sits on a magical ley line. There are option side effects to spells cast here. What spell can I learn next? Ah, a spell, the fledgling asked, as if the entire process were so easy. Please continue to amuse me. What? I cast it, right? You must practice. Even simple spells are fiendishly difficult, and I will not stand idly by while you butcher them with your lack of skill. When you have more experience, perhaps then I will teach you another. Perhaps. Okay, geez, I'll keep practicing whenever I need to find something then, alright? It would be the smartest thing you've done since I met you. For now, though, I suddenly feel wiped. Yes, while casting a spell will drain your magical reserves, and until you are more proficient, even the simplest of spells will require significant focus. Well, I'm too tired for this. I'm going to bed. What should I do with you? I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. Are you capable of yapping less while I try to sleep, or you need to go back in the drawer? Do not even suggest such a thing. Good night, Barney. Barnabas, not Barney. Close enough. You slipped into bed and shut your eyes, waves and waves of tiredness washing over you. As you drifted off, the last thing you heard was the sound of disgruntled book complaining. You have learned a new spell. Yay! Yay! And we're gonna end stream here because I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I need to go rest. Anyways, having said all that, I'm posting a little cover on the 25th. Don't expect greatness or anything like that because I'm not able to mix yet. Vocals and stuff like that, so I kind of had to do everything in Clipchamp, and it's not made for mixing audio at all. So it's a little bit scuffed, but it's a fun little first tiny little cover for Christmas and stuff like that. So yeah. Tomorrow we will finish the demo, if I am correct in the fact that there's only day 6 and day 7 left. And then we shall see about streams next week, because I don't know how next week is gonna be for me, because you know, holiday stuff like that, all that kind of things. I don't know what the station is gonna look like. There might be visitors and stuff like that, and I might not be able to stream because of that. But yeah, if I can stream, I will definitely stream on the weekend. And other than that, there are some news that I'm going to be announcing very soon, related to my content for starting next year. I'm still going to be streaming, but I'm probably going to be pivoting my content to a certain degree, because I do want to give more attention and focus to my game making, since that is pretty much like the thing that I like, that's what I want to make a career out of the most, you know. So there's that. Um but yeah, I'll talk more about that in a video and explain a couple more things then. Streams won't really be affected all that much, other than maybe the frequency of them, on days that, on weeks that there's a video posted. But yeah, anyways, having said all that, thank you for coming. Leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. You've been on YouTube, you know how it works, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.